Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be I was a rebound. She went back to her ex again. Will she come back? So, this particular email, if you date enough women, you're going to come across somebody that just recently had a breakup. You should expect hot and cold behavior. Again, this is laid out in 3% man. So, if a woman backs off like that, you just let her be and then let her come back. It's really important to let women right out of a breakup come to you at their pace. Because if you start to over pursue, you get a little too serious about a potential relationship with her, you're going to push her away. So this particular email, this guy started dating a woman right out of the breakup. And whenever they got together, she would often bring up her ex. She did all the reaching out, but she was also still in contact with her ex. So after about 2 months of dating, he was thinking they were going to get serious, and then she was talking to her ex still, and then she actually went back to him. I think this is the third time now she's gone back to him. So now he really likes her, obviously, because rejection breeds obsession, because she ran off back to the ex, and now he's wondering, is she going to come back? He says, hey, coach, I dated this girl for 3 months. Beautiful, same values, clicked really well. She seemed really into me right from the start. Too good to be true. Well, it was. Found out 2 weeks in that she had just been dumped for the second time by her ex a month before. Well, one thing to consider, if it didn't work the first 2 times, it's probably not going to work the third or the fourth or the fifth time. So if I was a betting man, she'll be back. But it would behoove you to have some other ladies that you can hang out and have fun and hook up with. Because that'll cause you to be less available and less focused on her and more indifferent, which will attract her more to you. So she had just been dumped for the second time by her ex a month before, and she said she wasn't ready for a relationship yet. I told her I was just looking to date and see where things went. In hindsight, this is where I should have dipped. I would have looked at that and said you needed a dip there. It's just you got to understand, if you over pursue or you try to smother her, or you get too serious, or you get dopey, she's going to back away. Also, you have to understand that she got dumped. Rejection breeds obsession. And she didn't want to be dumped. So if the guy doesn't find anybody else, because usually what happens, and I've talked about this often, I've talked about it many times with the girls in the podcast, it's like every guy has this experience when they're in a relationship, seems like all these women want them. And then as soon as they're single again, it's like poof, the women disappear. So guys will get to a point where they know they don't want to be with a girl anymore. They'll dump her, and then as soon as they dump her, their vibe changes, and then all those girls that were everywhere, they all of a sudden, it's like a ghost town. And when they don't meet anybody else within 90 days of dumping the girl, then they get scared and fearful, and then they want to go back to the ex and they start showing up. So you just have to understand that probably the dude will be back. And that's why it helps to have other choices and not to put all your eggs in one basket. Because ideally, you want a woman who had a breakup, maybe she took 6 months, a year to get her life back in order, to heal, get over it, and then when she's ready, she'll start dating again. We had a great time together. She did 100% of the contact initiation. However, in person, she'd frequently bring up her ex. He had many, many issues and say she wanted to take things slow. Well, if a woman is constantly repeating to you that she wants to take things slow, that means that you're coming on too strong, you're a little too focused on her, you're a little too serious, and you're over-communicating your interest to the point where she realizes you're way more into her than she's into you. And you're going to get a pullback when that happens. It's a scientific fact. Women are more attracted to men whose feelings are unclear. They will like you way more if they think they're more into you than you are into them. Women like a guy that is a challenge, a guy they have to work to get. And when you're too dopey and she's still talking to the ex and the ex is in the background and she starts to pull back a little bit, and you pursue a little bit more, you'll actually drive her back into the arms of the ex, which I suspect might be a contributing factor for why she went back the third time, because they dated almost 3 months, and if he was really following the book to a T, she should have been in love with him by then. And then she probably wouldn't have gone back, but then again, she didn't take any time to heal, and she had all this time with this ex, and she was the one that got dumped. So it may have been fucked either way, but you can just tell from the things she's saying when a woman's constantly repeating, hey, I want to take things slow, she can tell you're very serious about her and she doesn't want to get you hooked. And so here's another indication that he over pursued and was too serious. She also said she was scared to hurt me. So when a woman says that, she knows you're way more into her than she's into you. And she's already thinking she's going to probably blow you off and you're going to get brokenhearted and upset, because women have done this a lot. They know when a guy gets hooked and they're not into it, and they feel guilty, or they feel bad, I should say, about blowing you off to go back to somebody else or friend zoning you or whatever. And so she's trying to basically say, pump the brakes, dude, slow your fucking roll. And he kind of realizes that he screwed up. He says, I never brought up a relationship, but I know I give off that vibe. There you go. That's why she said those things. Women don't just say that shit for the hell of it. They say it because they feel pressured, because you're giving that vibe off that you want to lock her down. She sent him a happy birthday text about a month into us dating, because again, you're over pursuing and you're giving off that too serious of a vibe. And also accidentally called him once and hung up immediately. Love to see it, right? It's like, well, you're basically chasing her back into his arms, which a lot of guys do when they really haven't mastered the book. She brought up being exclusive 8 weeks in, was asking where this was going, but when I asked what she meant, she said she didn't want to be official yet. So we kept hanging out, having fun, and hooking up, and toward the end, she even said that she was moving on from her ex. But one day he called, wanting to get back with her. At first, she said she didn't want to. Yeah, right. And even posted me on her Instagram that day. We had an amazing night together, even gushed her feelings to me over the text the next morning, but that night she sent the dreaded, hey, can we talk? Sure enough, he called again wanting to meet up with her. She asked for space, which I gave her, and 2 days later she broke it off. So your pursuit of this woman is over forever. You will never ever call her or text her again for any reason as long as you live. If she reaches back out, you're going to follow the script that's in 7 Principles, get an ex back, invite her over to hang out, have fun and hook up. You're not going to say that, obviously. But there's an article and video newsletter I did many years ago called 7 Principles to Get an Ex Back, and so you should be following that. So since there's an ex and she's gone back to him now for the third time, it probably is not going to work out, and she'll be back eventually. And if she does come back, you got to let her do 100% of the reaching out, and you just make dates, and you should be dating other women. But, you realize that you over-communicated your interests, and that's why she bounced, because you got in the way of her falling deeply in love with you and emotionally bonding to you and earning you. You made it too easy for her. You over-communicated your interests, you made too much of an effort, and it's clear from your email. You realize that after the fact, but hey, you live and learn, man. Eventually, you keep working on it, you'll get it right. You'll find the sweet spot. We ended on good terms, and she even cried a little and cuddled and hugged me tight. I told her to call me if she changes her mind. I'm going to move on. What are your thoughts? Well, you didn't really follow the book because you got a little too focused on how much you liked her and you didn't pay attention to the fact that she was still not over the ex, and you pursued too much. You were too serious. And you gave off that vibe, and that's why. In other words, you weren't she already knew you were in. She already knew you were down to be serious, and that you were way more into her than she was into you. So she had all the leverage and knew it, and that's why she went back to the ex, because she knew if it doesn't work out with him, she can just come back to you. You want her to wonder, man, if I go back to my ex, you probably won't be around. You want her to be scared to lose you, but you made it too easy for her. Do you think she'll come back? Well, flip a coin, it could go either way, but I would say probably there's a 51% chance that she will come back, just because, again, it didn't work the first 2 times. It's not going to work the third. And if she does, should I take her back? Well, you're not taking her back. She was never yours. It just means you can start hanging out, having fun, and hooking up with her again. But she should be a girl in your rotation. If you had 2 or 3 other girls that you were dating and hooking up with, you wouldn't be jumping through your butt to please her and spend time with her. You'd be a little less available. You might have to, wait to see her for a week just because you got other girls that you're hanging out with. And the more she gets frustrated that she can't see you as often or as much as she wants to, her interest goes up. But it sounds like as soon as you started dating her, you were convinced that you wanted her and you wanted to be boyfriend-girlfriend. Even though you never said that, you gave off the vibe as you said. And so she bounced because you weren't enough of a challenge. Feel free to use it in a video if you like. I'd love to help someone else out. So again, it's not the end of the world. I would expect she'll probably be back eventually, but get back in the book and get some other choices and some other options with the ladies. and figure out how you were over communicating your interest to the point where she felt like she's, had to say she was worried about hurting you. Because when a woman says that, she knows that you really care way more about her than she does you, and she knows she's going to probably break your heart because you can't handle it. You can't handle dating her. It's like she's your kryptonite. Women like confidence, competence. They like a man that is calm and in control of himself. So if you got a question or challenge and you'd like to get my help, go to understandingrelationships.com. Click the coaching tab at the top of your screen on any page of my website and book a coaching session with yours truly. If you haven't already signed up for our exclusive premium members-only content in the video description of this video, there are links to join on YouTube, or you can join on Spotify or our website, understandingrelationships.com. Just click the plans tab when you get there. And the good news is with our website is you can do a 7-day free trial to check out all the great content you get for your money. And if you choose an annual plan, you can get a 25% discount at the end of the 7-day free trial. So go to understandingrelationships.com, click the plans tab, sign up for a 7-day free trial today for our premium content. And until next time, I will talk to you soon.